welcome to Behind the Lines. I'm Diane Dayton. Today we're going to talk about something I look forward to every year. And this is the 15th year, and it's Gifts That Give Hope. It's coming up on Sunday, December 11th, and it's something you don't want to miss. And with us right now, we have, I suppose we would call you the founder, right?
Or fair coordinator for
the
Lancaster.
Fair coordinator
yes,
and founder
yes.
of the Lancaster one. It's Jenn Knepper and Timbrel Chyatee.
Yeah.
And you are the founder of your foundation that has your same name as well. But you also have all of these wonderful items only a couple blocks away from the station, right?
Yes, 101.
Okay. Right, let's bring everybody up to speed on exactly what this is. Gifts That Give Hope is exactly what, Jen?
I describe it as a live version of a gift catalog.
Okay.
Oftentimes there's nonprofits that will distribute a gift catalog around the holidays. Heifer International is one of the ones that people typically think of, how you can buy a gift in honor of somebody rather than more stuff. So we started out with that intention to give exposure to a lot of the nonprofits here in Lancaster and allow you to give gifts in honor of loved ones or teachers or, the special people in your life that you want to give a special gift to, but don't really need more stuff.
Right. So what's great about this, it's first of all free to attend, and it is from, I believe it's 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. on Sunday out at the Farm and Home Center, Arcadia Road.
Right.
What's great is that there are items you can buy, but there's so much you can see and learn that you didn't even know about. You have, 44 nonprofits?
Right, correct.
Okay.
Right, that's our biggest one ever this year.
Okay, and you have a foundation, right, Timbrel?
do,
Tell us
yes.
a little bit about that.
So the Chyatee Foundation actually started during COVID. I got stuck in India for 8 months because of COVID. I couldn't come back. And so I chose to open a food bank in India to help feed the people, and it just kind of grew to me like wanting to help more, especially after COVID. So we started a sewing school for women, and we provide them a sewing machine for up to 6 women per term, and then they are allowed to, after their term is over, to learn sewing, stay with us and work with us, or take their sewing machine and move on to start their own business. So the goal is to really help empower women to learn entrepreneurship and help themselves.
Boy, there are reasons and purposes and everything, isn't it? Wow, that's exciting. Now you have a store that's 101 North Queen?
101 North Queen.
Okay, so tell us what we're going to find there. Like, for instance...
Yes, so this is our bomber jacket. It's a quilted bomber jacket with block print. So all this fabric that you see is actually block printed onto the fabric. And we use all natural dyes. So the goal is to be sustainable as well as use natural elements to really make it special. So I design everything in the store. I draw it out, and then the team that I work with, they create it. And so we do home goods as well. We have an apron with matching napkin, and then we do women's and men's wear. At the fair, we also will have our signature love t-shirt that Jen is representing.
Jen's favorite shirt.
And mine too, I almost wore it. But the goal is to really empower people through fashion for good.
Oh, that's excellent.
Thank
Congratulations,
you.
and thank you for all the good that you're doing and what you're doing in the block, too.
Thanks.
I
I love my block. I love Lancaster.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? So some of the other nonprofits, Jen, that you have off the top of your head, tell us some of these.
Well, we have Benchmark, which they do strength training programming for at-risk youth. We have Aaron's Acres, Milagro House, Music for Everyone. A nice variety so that you can really connect with nonprofits and find something for everyone on your list.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, this is really diverse. Like, for instance, what is it, the Potter's House?
Yes.
What is that?
They work with people that are recovering or struggling with addiction, and they walk through that process of healing and restoration. Whether they have both men's and women's programming and housing as they go through that process of healing.
What about Feed My Starving Children?
They are a global organization, and they have like a local chapter. They often will do meal packing, and so their efforts are to kind of address food insecurity, mostly in third world countries.
All right. Reach out and read Lancaster.
Yes. They're one of my favorites. I shouldn't say I had favorites, but as a big reader, and I stumbled across them, and I just love their work because I'm a nurse, and from their model, they provide books for children from ages birth to up to 5, and they get books at their well child checkup because they found that early literacy prevents poverty down the road. So their interventions are really,
Right.
starting out early and making a long-lasting impact.
That's great. You also have Mental Health America is there.
Yes, we're very happy. Oh, yes, I think I saw Kim was with you a couple weeks ago. So they're, a very special organization. We all know how much everybody has struggled with their mental health, particularly with the pandemic and the ongoing sequelae that has happened from that. So they're really doing a lot of great work for advocacy and educating the community.
And then, of course, Music for Everyone is going to be there as well.
Yes, we love Music for Everyone, and they continue to do great work throughout the pandemic and getting access to kids who otherwise wouldn't get musical instruments.
And we know how connecting music is and bringing us
so
all together,
powerful,
isn't
right?
it?
It really
Right.
is.
It really is.
Yep, that definitely is too. Habitat for Humanity is even going to be there as well.
Right. Yep. I always think of them, at how Jimmy Carter
Absolutely.
is still, building houses and that legacy
Yeah, he
and that.
is.
Because affordable housing is really the crux of helping people, with their health and keeping them stable.
Yeah. What is Thriving Villages International?
That actually was started by a physician that I work with at Hershey Medical Center. He's the director of global health, and he started that. It's a village in Haiti, and they do a lot of education and farming techniques for that village and helping them, build their way out of poverty.
And be sustainable, right?
Right, very much so.
Yeah. 2 seconds or less is wonderful.
Yes, they are. That was started by 2 women in college. They took trips to Zimbabwe, I want to say, and the name of their organization, 2 seconds or less, I think it had to do with every 2 seconds.
Yes.
Someone, I think, either dies of starvation or hunger, and I'm forgetting the exact statistic, but their work is centered around sustainably ending, hunger.
I had the pleasure of talking to them years ago, and the fact that they did start this in college was just amazing too.
Right, and it's still going
and it's still
strong.
going. So I was
Right.
pleased to see that on here as well.
Yes.
World Bicycle Relief.
Yes, I love them a lot because the bicycles, they're called buffalo bikes.
Okay.
And they're very sturdy bikes. They actually have one at the gift fair that you can see. It's meant to go over very difficult terrain in places where there's not roads, but it allows people to get to work or to school, often, or to medical appointments when they need it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have any transportation.
Right. What's the Edible Classroom?
Oh, that was started by 2 women. One of them was a teacher and one was a master gardener, and what they do is go into schools and start school gardens.
Okay.
And the impact, again, is reducing obesity rates, improving access to healthy foods, and just really makes a great impact.
And I think you're going to have about 15 different vendors, which of you are one, Timbrel.
Yes.
So this is going to be great. What's it like for you to be a part of this with all these other artisans and these nonprofits?
I love it. It's definitely an event I look forward to, and Jenn and her team just put it together so well, and it's really great to be collaborative, and even though we all have different missions, we all come together under one roof and get to share our mission and our goal, and I think it's so amazing. And I leave at least, meeting more people and just feeling inspired by the people that come and shop. Because most of the time they don't just come and buy something, they want to know the story, they want to hear it from the people that are there, nonprofits or, the vendors, and it's just really special.
I think the connections you make with other vendors and with attendees is priceless.
Oh yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because who knows what develops out of that, other partnerships and other things that go on as well.
Yeah, and it's just nice to have that community.
Absolutely.
Where that we're all doing something to benefit our world and benefit the people in our world. It's just nice to see that, especially over the holidays when so many people are just consumerism and it's just buy, and it's just nice to see that people care.
Yeah. This is a whole different experience when you come there.
Yeah.
And I think it's very magical. I know it felt that way for me.
I'm
really
glad to
did.
hear that.
It really
Yeah.
did. So the best way we can find out any additional information is if we go to Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And it's just basically Gifts That Give Hope. Is
Yep.
that correct? Mm-hmm. What are we going to find there? Updates, that sort of thing?
Right, you'll learn about the different nonprofits that we work with. We highlight them. Any updates, food, we talk about our food vendors. So it's just a great place to stay connected. And even throughout the year, we promote, all the great work that's going on in the nonprofit world, and, our marketplace vendors. We really try to be a connection hub for getting people connected to the things that are important to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is just great. So there's more going on. We're going to talk about Father Christmas. We're also going to talk about a scavenger hunt. We're going to talk about food, but we need to take a brief pause because we're going to bring on another vendor and talk about some fabulous items that you're going to see on Sunday, December 11th, 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. And it's at the Farm and Home Center on Arcadia Road. It's free to attend and it's going to be marvelous. So stay with us. We have a lot more.
LCTV 66 is your community channel, and your donations keep us on the air and help to produce more local programs. Send your tax-deductible donation of $500, $100, or more to the address on the screen. Or think of it this way: for the price of a couple of movie tickets, you can help support your community channel. Send what you can and be a part of all that is good about Lancaster County. Thank you for your tax-deductible donation to LCTV 66, Lancaster's Connection.
Welcome back to Behind the Lines. We're talking about Gifts That Give Hope, and it is an event coming up on Sunday, December 11th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Farm and Home Center on Acadia Road, and it's free to attend. And it is marvelous because we've got 44 nonprofits, we have about 15 vendors, and a whole lot of things going on. So joining Jenn, who is the coordinator of the fair, and we have Dana Robertson, your board chair of Revolution Lancaster. What is Revolution Lancaster?
Revolution Lancaster is a social enterprise. Our mission is to empower women, and we do that through workshops where our makers, who are women who have previously experienced homelessness or are currently experiencing homelessness and are facing barriers, they're our makers. And we teach them how to handcraft the jewelry that Revolution sells online and at markets like Gifts That Give Hope.
Oh, that's great.
And so a really significant component, other than teaching the skills and soft skills for employment, is really that supportive community, which I would say is one of the most important things that Revolution does, is women standing with women and the incredible impact that can have on all of our lives when we do that.
Absolutely. So where did the name come from?
Yeah, Revolution actually started probably back like in 2014, very casually. There was a group of women who started coming to Lancaster's Women's Winter Shelter, and they spent time with women just kind of hanging out, doing hair, doing nails, connecting with the women who were staying overnight at the shelter. And every single week they just kept wanting to come back and show up together. It was like literally started by women showing up together. The founders then decided that they wanted to do something to really add extra impact, because they were seeing and understanding the stories of these different women in the shelters and wanting to do more. So they started Revolution, and they came up with the name Revolution. At first it was Love Revolution, but really it is that idea that it is truly a revolution in someone's life when you can simply show up. And so we've been doing that ever since.
Okay, that's great. So tell me what you have. Are these some of the items we
Yes.
might see on Sunday?
Yes, every
Okay.
single piece of jewelry you see here is handcrafted by a woman living in Lancaster. Our makers are incredible. They're artisans in and of themselves. And so as you can see, we have several different lines consisting usually of sterling silver. All of our jewelry is gold filled. And then we also have the really gorgeous rose gold. So we have several lines that feature the rose gold as well. What I love so much about the jewelry that we'll be selling at Gifts That Give Hope is that it goes with everything. And it's also really stackable, as you can see. from our necklaces. You can use them and layer them in different ways. Same with the rings. I actually am wearing a ring stack today. So
Okay.
I love that it's really versatile. It's nice quality jewelry, and it's also, it comes with a purpose. Every single piece of
Right.
jewelry comes in this packaging, and on the back, it's signed by the maker. So
Wow.
you know exactly who the maker is, and it's all made right here in Lancaster.
That's great. I also like, it looks like it's fairly lightweight too.
Yes.
So it's comfortable to wear, right?
Very. I accidentally sleep in it often. But yeah, it's really comfortable and really lightweight and just easy, very wearable.
I love the stories behind all of this and the supporting that we can do when we purchase this as
Right.
well. So the funds then also do what from this?
Yeah, so the purchase of the jewelry supports our ability to, not only create the jewelry, but also pay our makers. We pay them every single workshop. So our makers every week leave with, we pay them in cash, that they leave with money for the week
Yeah.
that they can go and use to reach their own individual goals in whatever's happening in their lives. And so the jewelry, it supports that. It also supports, we have some staff that help run the workshops and, create the website and sell online and all the other places.
Okay,
So,
that's
yeah.
great. So we can find you online. Where do we find you online?
RevolutionLancaster.com is
That's
where
easy.
you find us.
That's
I know,
easy.
yeah.
Okay. I love when it's easy, right?
Yeah.
All right, some of the other vendors that are there. Let's see, Jen, who do we have? We have Chestnut Ridge Honey.
Oh yeah, that's me. That's my,
that
my
is you.
organization.
Okay.
Yes. That's a small business that my husband and I started,
Okay.
and then I make products from the beeswax.
Oh, that's
So
great.
like lip balm and our commitment, how it kind of ties in with the marketplace, is that our products that we use, all the ingredients are ethically sourced, fair trade.
Right.
So we want to be conscientious, as in all the things that we have here at the gift fair for the marketplace, especially. We know where things are sourced from, and we want
Yeah.
to make our shopping choices, more conscientious in our day-to-day lives.
Absolutely. Binding Love Scarves.
Yes, that was founded by Audra Heifer, and the scarves are actually upcycled from material that would have otherwise been, thrown away or discarded.
somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they make beautiful scarves, and their proceeds go towards fighting human trafficking in a variety of places around the world.
Okay. And that, I assume, also is part of what North Star Initiative
They're
is.
actually different.
Okay.
So there are a fair number of efforts to fight trafficking, but they
Right.
kind of
They do
come
it
at it in
different ways.
different ways.
Okay.
North Star is actually local, and they
Yes.
are part of our marketplace this year, which is new for them.
Yeah.
But they are a local nonprofit, and they're building like a safe shelter for women who have been trafficked to kind of
Yes.
come and. It's called the Harbor that they're working on
Okay.
to, restore and rebuild their lives after being in that experience. So they have some products that either the women are making or that go into their ultimate purpose of
Okay.
fighting trafficking.
That's great. So there's a Human Rights Day scavenger hunt taking place. You've done this before, and this is a great idea. Give us more
Yes.
details.
That was one of my favorite aspects of the fair, because I'm a big history buff. And the first year that the fair used to be in November. It used to be right around the time of the Extraordinary Give, and that was just way too much for everybody, for the participants and for the community asking
Yeah,
for
right.
contributions. So when we switched it to December, it fell on December 10th, which is Human Rights Day. It was first recognized in 1948 when Eleanor Roosevelt was part of the commission to review all the things that happened in World War II. And so the declaration was signed, and there's a variety of articles, and what we do is we match up the various articles of the declaration with the nonprofits that are doing that work. So I often reference Church World Service. We all
Yes.
have the right to live in a country where our religious beliefs, political, ethnic background is not, persecuted for who we are. So that's one of the articles of the Declaration. So people receive a passport, and they
Yes.
can get them signed, and then or stamped, and then when you're done, you can get a free book that pertains to a various aspect of the of the Human Rights.
I think that's great. And what I
Declaration.
love about this is it is for the whole family.
Right, it definitely is.
Yeah, to bring the kids along too. I think it's great. It's a great education for them as well.
Right.
With what they meet and who they talk to. Father Christmas will be there, which is another
Right.
reason to bring the kids along.
Right. He's going to join us for the second time, and we emphasize, if you've ever read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, we kind of focus on the Father Christmas aspect. Again, we are kind of, saying no to the status quo in terms of, we think of Santa often as like, that's what I want to get more stuff. But if you remember in the book, Father Christmas gave people gifts so that they could go out then and make the world a better place. I think of Lucy, the cordial that she had that allowed her to heal people.
Yeah.
So we really want to kind of embrace that aspect of Father Christmas, that he's kind of giving us the tools or empowering, what we already have within us.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. And of course, we briefly talked earlier about the food that's available.
That's it.
So why don't can you expound on that a little bit? Let us know what
so
we might find.
any great event has to have food.
Absolutely.
I'm Italian, so we have to have a good food lineup, and this is the second year that we'll be utilizing a lot of food trucks. And so we have character coffee, which a lot of people love their coffee, and we have Chef Oliver with Homage, which is cuisines of the West African diaspora. We have Waco Taco, we have Gourmet, Julie's Way, we have Isabel's Cuisine. Many people may know her from her stand down at Central Market. Also a West African influence. Of course, Stroopies, you can follow your nose when you walk in that day, you will find them. And so there's lots of great options, and so come hungry.
Yeah, power broths too.
Yes, power broths. Actually, their proceeds that they make go to North Star. So they kind of started with the intention to support a local nonprofit.
You can really see where all of this relates and connects, right, Dana?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. And I mean, it's a family tradition for me and my husband and my kiddos. So we like to go and learn more about the different organizations and then of course I usually tend to volunteer and be able to help sell the jewelry. We have a lot of volunteers that help sell our products. So just talking to people, telling stories, it's a really good day.
Yeah, it is a great day. Jen, can you just give us a final thought about this?
Well, what I like to say is that, and a friend of mine that works in public health, she always said, you have to make the right choices, easy choices. So what the gift fair, we try to embody that concept of saying, we all want to be more conscientious with our purchasing power. And so when you come to the gift fair, it's really like a one-stop shop to introduce you to the companies that are here in Lancaster that are either making products or, if you're just focusing on the charitable contributions, if you're going to buy jewelry, if you're going to buy clothing, we need to all think about where we're getting those things from. We think about who made my stuff, who made my clothing, and it's creating a better world for everyone when we think, of Timbrel's emphasis on sustainably sourcing, fabrics and how we employ people. So it just has that big ripple effect.
It absolutely does. Thank you for doing this year 15.
Yes, it's a lot of, it keeps me sane. It's a great balance to have a creative outlet. I think we all realize that with the pandemic, and connecting with others is so powerful.
Okay. So once again, the date is Sunday, December 11th, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And it is at the Farm and Home Center on Arcadia Road, free to attend for the whole family. So it's nonprofits, it's also vendors, it's also food. It's a great day to learn about what's going on in our community and in the world and how we can make a difference for good. Right?
Right.
Okay. Thanks for joining
Diane.
me. And thank you for joining today, too. I'm Diane Dayton with Behind the Lines, reminding you to look behind the lines. You might be surprised what you find.